Well, hello. We are here live from Goldencon, recording for So Good We named it, the first Golden Girls or Golden Palace podcast, and the first Golden Girls or Golden Palace podcast with black hosts. To my knowledge, no one has told me I'm wrong after this weekend. I'm going to assume it's true. Thank you. We are here with the wonderful Golden Gays of New York.
Yes, the Golden Gays.
And I've been following you guys on Twitter for a while, so to be in person with you is very, very exciting. You want to tell us a little about how you got started? Why these characters? Why this? Why now? Why here?
Of course. So first I want to give you a sound bite to use for your little program. We named it! There you go.
Thank you.
So yes, you are correct. We're the Golden Gays. I'm the Dorothy.
I'm the Rose. And I'm the Blanche.
And in our musical shows, we have an audience member play the role of Sophia. So you get to be the fourth Golden Girl.
Wow. I've seen it. I don't know if you recall Chris from Golden Girls posters. He was a guest on the show. I know he's been joking Sophia a few times.
Of course he has.
Unfortunately, he's not here. Eat your heart out, Feinbaum. But I would
We miss you.
He made us a custom magnet, which we took on the last cruise. It was us as Goldie Hawn in Overboard.
I love it.
So he made that for us.
I would love that opportunity. Do you come to Chicago a lot?
No, but we will.
Because I kept looking at your tour dates. I'm like, okay, Charlotte, whatever city, blah, blah, blah. Where's Chicago? Where's Chicago?
This is our first time in Chicago, and we are so very excited. We hope to come back again very soon. Goldencon has been wonderful, and it's been such a success. And now it's just finding the right venue that can host us.
Well, with Boys Town, there are multiple venues.
I heard Blanche knows some stories about
Boys Town, right up my alley.
Yeah. They can host or they travel, whatever you're into.
Exactly.
And that is the spot. So can you tell me why you chose the character that you chose?
Sure. So my name is Jason B. Schmidt, and I'm the Dorothy. And I'm tall, and I have a deep voice. And about 12 years ago, I saw an audition posting in New York for a B. Arthur type for a raunchy Golden Girls parody musical. And so I auditioned for that, and then I got it. And then I went back to Golden Girls mod, stuff like that, to perfect the impression. And so I've been doing the role for a long, long time. And then this one saw that, so I'll let her continue the story from there.
Okay, and how did you become Rose?
I was cast several years later in that same production that Jason was just speaking of. And unfortunately, it fizzled after a few shows. And I fell in love with creating the character and with Betty White even more after playing this role. And I reached out to Jason, who I did not know. And Jason likes to say that I Facebook stalked him, which is 50% true and 50% false. But I loved what he did as a B. Arthur impersonator, the only B. Arthur impersonator. And I said I would love to get together, dress up as the girls, and go to the Rue La Rue Cafe that opened up in Upper Manhattan in June of 2017. And that kicked off what now is almost 5 years of traveling together as a troupe, and now welcoming aboard Mr. Christopher Eklund as Blanche.
So, how did you decide that Blanche Devereaux is who you need to be?
Well, it was just fate, actually. So when the Golden Gays originally got off the ground, there was another performer that was traveling with them as Blanche. And they had separated ways back in the fall. And I'm very close with Mrs. Kasha Davis from RuPaul's Drag Race, who is a big fan and has worked with the Golden Gays in the past. So she right away called me and said, I think there's a great gig for you. I think you'd be perfect for this. And so we talked. We thought it would be a good match. But the truly daunting, scary thing was we knew about this and were communicating via text, Zoom, whatnot, since October. But we didn't meet, the three of us, face-to-face until like March 27th of this year. So I was really concerned. how everything was going to meld together. But luckily, the three of us got on like a house on fire.
Wow. All you had to do was put up your ad at the grocery store and look at
Exactly.
you now.
And
Get
my
rid
two-
of a cat and move in.
Yes. I'm not about to part with Mr. Peepers. Unless a random little boy comes up to me, then to hell with him.
Correct.
But
Correct.
it is very exciting. Are you interested in maybe expanding outside of just the four ladies? Maybe having a token Miles and Angela?
That's a great point. For many years we had a bald cap with like a comb over. So
Oh, for Stan.
we did token Stanley every once in a while. But you know what people really want is, well, first they say, "Where is Sophia?" And then the answer is, "You're Sophia." We dress you up, and so it's become our shtick. So that's what we do. But yeah, we've done a couple of guest starring programs. Mrs. Kasha Davis, a couple other people who've stepped in to join us. Yeah, so we're open to whatever role you want to play.
Don't say that, because I would show up with a wardrobe rack
All right.
and a tote of wigs.
Let us know.
Yes.
Yes, a trunk of token wigs.
Yes.
When you come to Chicago, I need to be alerted immediately.
Yes, honey, yes.
I have
We'll set up a mobile alert to your phone.
Thank you. I have done all the girls
You
at
have?
some point. Yeah.
Oh.
That
Shocking, isn't it?
That
Oh.
was in high school, right?
It was.
Yeah.
It was a different time. A
Yeah.
kinder, gentler America. I turned to my wife Barbara and said, but anyway, I'm getting off track.
Yeah.
So I would love at any point, to throw on one of my old wigs and come up and have
You're
some
in,
fun with
honey.
We
you.
would
You're
love
in.
to have
Because
you.
you're doing what I want to do for a living, but it's not for everybody.
Listen, we're calling ourselves vaudeville for the new generation. So you always have a spot in our troupe.
You heard it here. It's legally binding now, okay?
That's it.
That's it.
All right.
Contracts are being processed.
Well, I cannot wait, and I have a new respect for performers after this weekend, because we've never done anything like this.
Yeah.
And we felt like we got hit by a bus.
You did.
And I'm like, we didn't really do anything. Why are we so tired? So imagine if we had
Right.
wigs and makeup and dancing and singing. Good Lord, no wonder they get checked into the hospital for exhaustion all the time. I had to take an extra day off. I texted my boss yesterday, like, I need a day to recover.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't.
There's
So
no Mondays.
how you do it, I don't know, but Lord bless you.
Thank
And my
you.
final question, with the Hell in a Handbasket and the various fans and things, is there any rivalry? Are you all gonna meet in an alley and duke it out, the best Dorothy, or is it like a, hey, there's room for everybody type of thing?
Well, for one, I have to correct you because it's hell in a handbag.
Hell in a Handbag.
But I won't tell them that you know what my name is.
Right.
I've
Fix it in post. Fix it in post.
I've admired them from afar, and actually their company just produced a great show called The Drag Seed in New York, and we're a production company, a theater company the same as them, so we respect them, and what they're doing is not the same as what we're doing, so there's no rivalry.
There's room for everybody.
They're
Blanche,
really cute.
Their Blanche actually reached out to me when I posted that I was going to be joining the Golden Gaze. Grant Drager, he was wonderful. We've messaged back and forth if I needed any tips, pointers. They've really been wonderful, wonderful people.
We all turned to each other after, both parties saw each other. We smiled and we tacked.
Yeah,
it was a
hugged.
big love fest. And the first thing that we, the Golden Gays, said about them was, they are so nice. They are so nice. So someone was just waving hello to me in the middle of the podcast.
Fix it in post.
Yes, let's fix it in post. But yes, we all said they are so nice, and we saw their show, and we thought it was excellent.
And then we cut up their wigs.
Speaking of which, I love this Blanche hair. It's like
Thank
it's,
you.
I feel like it's gonna reach across the table. At
So
me.
my premise for the character is, obviously at the end of the day, I'm a man in a dress.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you a Blanche hairstyle times 10. I'm gonna give you a
love it.
Blanche body pumped up 2 times.
Yeah, maybe 3.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
The hair is done by Casa Glam Wigs.
Yes.
Also, we're connected by Mrs. Kasha Davis. So Casa Glam did this one, styled that Built that one or styled that one?
Styled.
That, built
Built
Blanche's
this.
wig. So yeah, Casa Glam wigs. If you need big
Top of
effing
the
hair.
line. Top of the line.
They're wonderful.
Actually,
Thank
if you want to bump up your wig trunk,
Yeah, I mean, I
contact
don't know if
Casa
Spirit
Glam.
can continue to
No,
Ooh,
you
to
need
supply
you need-
everything.
I mean, Casa has the magic touch, so
She
I
really
mean,
does.
They really could turn any, no matter what kind of wig they are, Spirit, Party City, whatever. They will create you a masterpiece.
Well, I'm going to go back to Party City where I belong. But Mrs. Kasha Davis, if you'd like to come in on the show, we've mentioned you so
will.
much.
Yes.
We'll text
And
her right after
I
this.
have my hand in many pots, but I do. I have some retro like jewelry. I would love to send you all some
I
earrings
heard that
or
on
something.
one of your
Amazing.
episodes.
That would be
I have so
amazing.
many pieces. I'm like, this is so Blanche, this is so Rose, and my ears aren't even pierced anyway, so I can't do anything with them. But
Start making
I do have
clips.
a few clip-ons.
I'll buy
for
'em.
for when I'm Dorothy, because I want to stay true to character. B. Arthur's ears weren't pierced.
We're not pierced.
But
Yes.
If
I
you
would
send
love
us
to.
earrings, I don't have pierced ears, but I'll be at Claire's boutique in a heartbeat getting them
Yeah.
pierced.
When do you leave?
We're gonna leave tomorrow, sometime tomorrow. We have shows in Indianapolis, Columbus, New Hope, Pennsylvania. So, but yeah, sometime
Well, I'm
tomorrow.
from here, so if I can't bring it to you before you leave, I'll mail it, and you'll see So Good We Named It podcast and jewelry. And I don't know, maybe we'll cheesecake too. I'll find something to sell you. Always got to plug it. And I would love to see my earrings on your
We
ears.
sell merchandise at all of our shows. If you want to make us a golden gaze, like a Janelle earring.
Well, I don't know how to make anything. I just get them from the thrift store and clean them up.
Oh,
So, like
resource.
vintage. Yes.
Oh yeah, honey. Oh, we're
I
gonna.
mean,
do
it was just
that.
Earth Day, so we want to, upcycle.
Yes.
And where can everybody find you? What are all your handles?
You can find us at thegoldengaze.net or The Golden Gaze NY on Instagram or on Bookface, aka Facebook,
It's the Golden Gaze Drag Troupe on
yes,
Facebook.
on Facebook. Thank you, Doris.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an honor and a pleasure. I hope we're able to hear this over all the music. If not, it was a nice practice. But thank you for joining us. And as I always say, since my co-host is not here to interrupt me, thank you for being a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, the Golden Gaze of New York.
Thank you,
Can we get some applause from our two people? Thank you. Oh, you're too kind. Oh, stop it. Thank you.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
If you attended GoldenCon and would like to provide photos or videos of your experience for our video montage, or if you'd like to talk about your experience on the show, send us an email at sogoodwenamedit@gmail.com. Contact us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at sogoodwenamedit, and check out our website, sogoodwenamedit.com. And as always, thank you for being a friend. To So Good We Named It, the first Golden Girls and Golden Palace podcast, and the first, to my knowledge, Golden Girls or Golden Palace podcast with black hosts, as seen at GoldenCon. I'm Barrett,
And I'm Kay.
and as you may have seen on our social media, we have Devereaux's disease.
Yeah.
I wanted to have it. We contracted COVID after GoldenCon, as did a few others. Quite a few people
Several.
that we were around, dropping like flies. That being said, the organizers did a great job, keeping everybody safe. You had to provide vaccination records. There was social distancing and all types of stuff. But when you're around that many people, especially from all over the country, sometimes it's unavoidable.
It's not enough.
Yeah, it's enough wicker, but not enough with that. And I will say this is the first time I really have been lax about wearing a mask since the pandemic started, so that's on me. I had a mask on at first, and I had a mask for every outfit, and I was getting very hot up under there. I don't know if it was the running around or if I was starting to get, sick and congested. And then I was like, well, if I'm taking all these pictures and all this, I don't want to keep taking it off, putting it on. And, I let the
And
features.
look at you. And now look at us.
I let the features get the best of me. And I had said, I was like, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if I caught something, but if this was the way I caught it, it's very fitting.
Oh my God.
So if you came into contact with us, please get tested and get that taken care of. And for those that think that it's fake, swing by later. We'll have a chat. But just wanted to get that out the way in case we start hacking in the middle of this. You'll know why. I wanted to do the recap while everything was fresh, but I was totally immobilized. So we're going to try our best now. And I should have some questions coming in from people online that had things they wanted to say. But I'll let you go first about, if you want to talk about the whole experience and what it was like.
I had a wonderful time at the Goldencon 2022 at Navy Pier. It was wonderful. The setup was nice. The food was nice. They had lots and lots and lots of vendors. They had themed like food and stuff. They had themed drinks, so that was really cool. And then just the overall vibe was really nice. Everybody was very loving and like it was just a really good vibe. It felt more like family, to be honest. And it was just very, very enjoyable, very much so.
I found the tea rather moist as well. First of all, for those that don't know, because apparently many people that follow us do not listen to the podcast, so I'm like, well, why are you following us? Which, I appreciate it, but, there's a show too. So if you like the tweets, you'll love this. So welcome to anyone that's never, including people that are like, oh, can I co-host? And I'm like, oh, sure. And they're like, oh, I've never listened to it. How do you know we're not like saying something crazy? You're just signing on. But I digress. The way I got involved, for those that don't know, we
You were
just
stalking people.
a little, that's my thing. That's what I do. That's how I get places.
It's what I
in life.
do. It's what I do.
That's how I got to be an intern at Kiss FM. That's how I started working at State Farm, which I no longer work there. But either way, you just harass people and they'll just give up. But we started the podcast in January and it's now April, so it's fairly new. This is only going to be like episode 18. And I went to the Betty White Memorial because we live in Chicago, where Goldencon was, and Betty White was born in Oak Park. So I ended up going to that, and it started out as a birthday party, and I met the ladies in charge of it, and they're actually going to be on the show soon to talk about that. And they were at Goldencon, and I saw that Zach was there, and I already knew about Goldencon because I am, obsessed, which is crazy to me that so many people are like, oh, I had no idea. Oh, I didn't know. I'm like, how could you not? It was everywhere. But he got up to speak.
Not real fans.
Yeah, truly. He got up to speak at Goldencon, and I was like, oh my God, he's right there. I gotta get to him because I need to be involved in some way because we already had tickets. For only one day because we ran out of Money. But I was like, well, maybe we can, do something. And I was like, as I've said, I will rip up tickets at the door, whatever, just to be a part of the experience. So I couldn't get to him. It was too many people there. So I was like, okay, let me just tweet him. So I started, posting videos and pictures. And I thought that he was a part of the memorial, which I later found out he wasn't. They just randomly asked him to speak, and then I found out when talking to the people over it that they didn't even intend to have it be this big. It was going to be a little thing, and I feel like that's a recurring thing here. It's the same for Goldencon. It's the same for this podcast. It just gets out of hand when the Golden Girls get involved. So I reached out. I was just like, hey, we have a podcast. If there's anything we could do, blah, 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 thinking that we would have like, one little thing to do. And like a week before Goldencon, he sends the itinerary, and we have like 5 panels, and we're hosting them with people from the show. So I was like, what the fuck? I mean, it was amazing, but I wasn't expecting that. I didn't think that, we were that relevant to be getting all of that, but apparently so. So that was super exciting, and I was a little nervous, I must say, because we've never done anything like this. But once we got out there, we didn't even really look at the scripts. We just were winging it, and people were coming up to us like, oh, that was so great. Oh, you guys did a great job. You need a talk show. I'm like, really? I mean, I felt like I was great, but I didn't think everybody else thought we were great. So I'm glad.
Hell yeah, we need a talk show. Hell yeah.
Anybody listening? Stan Zimmerman, perhaps?
Hey, we're not going to talk about Mr. Zimmerman.
Yeah, he's going to be
He's
on.
a beautiful person. He's a beautiful person.
He's going to be on soon, so we'll save some of
As
that.
he should. Yeah, we'll save it.
But We got to interview Lynn Green, aka Young Dorothy. I'm just gonna call them by their character names because most of you don't know who they really are. Mr. Haha slash Lou,
Blue.
Clayton Hollingsworth, Barbara Thorndike, who's 92. Shout out to her for being 92. And
Okay.
we also interviewed Mark Sulkin from, he was a showrunner and writer for the Golden Girls and the Golden Palace. And we also did two, I was going to say tapings, two shows or whatever of Golden Table Talk with April. So that was fun. So we did a lot of shit, and there was so much going on at the same time that I didn't even know took place until I watched like the recap videos and stuff. I'm like, what the hell was this? Like, I didn't know that they did the whole I'm a Vine and this is it, and the Mr. Haha's birthday roundup. Like, so many things that I would have loved to see, but it was just too much going on. And so they were there as well, of course. Rue McClanahan's sister Melinda was there, and her daughter Amelia, who I didn't even know was Rue's niece, but she was one of the prostitutes in the Burt Reynolds episode. And Gil Kessler was there. Are we forgetting anyone?
Um, from the show,
Yeah, from the
I think we
show.
talked about
I
everybody
think
from
that's
the
everyone. I'm trying
show.
to think of who else was backstage with us. I think that's everybody from the show. If I forgot you, it's not because you're not
Cindy
important.
V.
Well, she's not from the show. I was going to get to
Well,
those
she sang
people.
the theme song.
I just wanted to say it's COVID brain if I forgot you. But yeah, Cindy Fee was there, as was Aaron Scott, who sang the gospel version. And H. Allen, aka Sadie Pines, was there. Dr. Cheesecake, Elliot Glazer, Dave Matthews, not from the Dave Matthews Band,
I was
but
just gonna say, not from the band.
who got Betty White on SNL. B. Arthur's former
Assistant.
assistant, Dan, who was also a friend of hers, and and Betty, as well as Dixie Carter and someone else. Oh, Cloris Leachman. Who else am I forgetting? What the hell? Jim Colucci was there, and his husband Frank. Jim Colucci wrote the Golden Girls Forever. Matt Browning was there, who wrote the Golden Girls Cultural Reference Guide. He was on the show, as was H. Allen recently. Who else? Stupendous Productions did the Golden Girls trivia. The Golden Gays of New York, who were on our last episode.
Love them.
The Hell in a Handbag.
Handbag.
Yes, handbag. They were there.
You said handbasket and
I
they drug
did.
you.
I did. They were the only ones we didn't meet. I didn't meet them. Dinah Manoff was there from Empty Nest. I think.
Who is Rue McClanahan's niece, right?
No, that's Amelia. I just said.
Oh damn! I got the I
COVID
got the
brain.
COVID. I'm sorry. Sorry.
That's my excuse for everything. I was on my COVID Karen shit at Target because I had to get my prescription. Not my prescription, stuff for my husband Manny, because he hasn't tested positive, not to violate his OSHA, but he has a lot of the symptoms, so I had to go and get him some stuff, and I was trying to make it quick, and they were hassling me. I was like, look, I'm not trying to be difficult, but I have
Okay.
COVID, so I'm trying to get out of here, because I mean, to sidebar, I typically always know what the hell I'm talking about. And a lot of these people, I mean, I get it. You work there. I don't. But I know what I'm talking about. I used to work there. And even for stores where I didn't used to work, I know the policies because I shop here and return stuff a lot or whatever. So she's trying to tell me, you need to do this. I'm like, no, I don't. Please, just let me get out this store. I'm sweating,
Okay.
which I don't know if it was because of the COVID or because I had on a winter coat, even though it was like 70 yesterday. But anyway. Y'all already know what this is, okay? So
Shit.
we also got to meet
Oh,
up with a lot
God.
of people that we knew from the Golden Girls fandom, such as Heck Yes. Let me make sure I'm getting that right. I want to say it's Heck Yeah Yes or Heck Yeah Heck Yes Yeah. Let me look. Heck Yes
Jesus.
Y'all. Heck Yes Y'all. As well as OK Petunia and who else? Psychic Delia. Psychdelia. I'm sorry, COVID. That's my new excuse for everything. But she was on the show before to talk
Oh.
about. I think we talked about fashion from the show, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what we talked about. Go listen. But and she kept her mask on the whole time. So shout out to you. And Matt Browning kept his mask on a lot. Ami Vine and This Is It and Dinah Manoff, they kept their masks on a lot. So shout out to people who did what they needed to do, unlike us. We also, I met, I don't think you were there, Coco Chanel.
Yes, love her.
who was there as Marguerite.
Marguerite.
Crap.
Damn, don't you start that coughing.
I know, god damn it. Um, who else? Who else did we meet? Oh, Katrina, who also co-hosted before. Selfish Lover, who co-hosted, but that episode is not aired yet. But it will. Who else
And
did
the
we
triplets,
meet?
the Donatello triplets.
The Donatello triplets. We met 2 versions of them, and we have a treat for you all. All the people that won, big stuff like the trivia, the costume contests. I'm gonna have an episode with just them, so they can talk about their wins. So that's coming up. Who else? So many. It's too many to name. If I forgot you, charge it to my my mind, not my heart. But we just met, a lot of people that already knew who we were. So it was like people coming up to us, and I'm like, who the hell are they talking to us? And, it's nice to have a fan base. I don't know if that's, presumptuous to call them that. But we certainly appreciate the support. And it was very exciting to be able to, just do our thing in person. It was like, I should have recorded everything, but I was just too much going on. But a lot of it is on the Instagram. For those of you that couldn't be there, I wanted to be the eyes and ears for you. So a lot of it is on the So Good We Named It Instagram page. We're also on Facebook now. And, of course, Twitter. Ooh, getting winded.
Oh, shit.
I know. So let me go down the list again. Why am I going down the list? I don't remember. But this is going downhill fast. Shout out to Zach and Brad. And I know there was another person in charge. We didn't meet any. We only knew Zach previously. We didn't even meet him till GoldenCon. So I don't want to forget you. Let me try to find your name because you're all important. We met Ashley too. Ashley Clark, who has not co-hosted yet, but hopefully will. I don't remember his name. Sorry, but we love you. You're the best. But this is a terrible recap.
We sorry.
But I'm just amazed at what they pulled off, considering they have no experience with this. And it just kind of grew from them wanting to do like a trivia night type thing at a bar. Like, this was very impressive. I've never been to any type of convention, really. I went to Youth 2003 with my church. Kirk Franklin was there. But other than that, nothing really. So I didn't really know what to expect. And I think what a lot of people said, including, you and I, was that we weren't prepared for all of that. Like, we went in thinking, okay, this would be a cute little thing. And it was so much more. And we were thinking, like, is that why we're so exhausted now? Maybe it was COVID. But I was like, I wasn't expecting this. Like, I was very impressed. Not to say I was, going in being underwhelmed, but I just had no idea it would be this magnitude. Like, they had...
Yeah, it was very nice. They had props and everything,
right.
Like nice photo ops and the couch. It was so nice.
The original couch, not the cushions, which we almost didn't get to sit on.
Right.
Because
they tried to play us.
Right. Like
okay.
There was a lot of stuff that we were able to do for free as talent. And not to be like, oh, well, you don't know who I am. But, the stuff we did pay for, Zach would be like, oh, why did you pay for that? You should have told me. So I didn't want to, keep paying for stuff for nothing. Because we bought food the first day. Because I didn't want to be like, where's the, craft service? Only to find out later that there was craft service. Or somebody else whose talent would be like, oh, I was able to do so-and-so, you should be able to do it too. So we were just, doing what we assumed was included. Because I even asked, I was like, hey, what do we need to pay for so that we can do everything? And he's like, oh, everything's covered. So, all right, great. So we go to take a picture, which, no shade to whoever's in charge of this, but they want to make you pay while they hold your camera. I'm like, damn, you don't even have your own camera and you're charging? But hey, whatever, make your coins. Because if I had the couch, I would have charged more than that. And I wouldn't even let you sit on it. I would have let you stand next to it for $50. So make your coins. But when we went over there, I was like, hey, we're, host and we have the badges. And I think, we're supposed to be able to do this free, whatever. And one of the guys was like, nope. And I don't think it was the guy that was in charge. It was somebody else. And he was like, nope, you can't do it. Sorry, you need this card. I'm like, okay. So we went and got the card and came back. But it was kind of like, damn, we're hosted on the grand stage and we can't even sit on the couch. But luckily, somebody took care of it. The Sunshine Cadets, who were the people helping, they were great. They were very attentive. Anything we needed, it was wonderful. So we got to do that.
Yeah,
We got to go in the VIP. I don't know if you went in the VIP lounge, but I went and sat in there
I walked through.
for a
Yeah, I
minute.
tipped through.
Yeah, tip through. The green room. I was in there a lot because all the celebrities kept coming in there. So I was like, let me sit in here for a minute. And every time the door opened, we're like, ooh, who is that? Kay thought everyone was a celebrity. She thought Big Daddy was in there.
It looked just like him. Did you take a picture of that man?
I did, but because of who he is, which we'll discuss later, I did not post it.
I
saying,
wasn't wrong, but describe what he had on, G. Because come on, man.
Okay, let me first of all, he was dressed like Big Daddy. He had the Colonel Sanders like suit. Like I've never seen anybody dressed like that in real life. So he did have that on. However, and he did look like him. The original Big Daddy. Let's see, there's Murray Hamilton. I think was the first one. He was born in 1923, so I guess he could still be alive, but he's not. He died in 1986. And I wasn't sure if he was like dressed up in character because a lot of people were, or if that's just how he dressed. And I didn't want to be like,
I think that's how he dressed. Right. Ain't they from the South?
No, I don't know where he's from. His wife is from Oklahoma, but I didn't want to be like, hey, love the Big Daddy costume. And he's like, what are you talking about? So, and then somebody, an older Asian man came in. You're like, oh, is that the guy that played the gardener? I'm like, no, he works here. But he did kind of look like him, though.
He did look like him.
And I don't think all Asians look alike. He did look like a little bit the gentleman that played the gardener. But again, I don't think he's alive anymore.
Fine.
So, yeah. But everyone else that came in for the most part was somebody famous. And, you know, for us to just be amongst them it was very surreal. I think I said this there. I felt like I was inside of my TV. Because I'm sitting around people that I have watched a million times. And like you said, they were all so cool. Like, I really thought that somebody was going to be, you know, on some diva shit. Because you know how you hear about Hollywood and how people are. Mm-hmm. And I thought that
everybody was very nice and inviting and welcoming. And, you know, they were talking to you and stuff like that.
Right.
They
were
weren't
just
like,
chatting it up. And, you know, they let us take pictures and videos. Like, they really seemed to be enjoying it. They really seemed to be happy to be there. And I think many times that's not the case. I just saw a YouTube video of Eve Plum, who played Jan Brady, and she was on Jenny Jones. And it clearly, God,
damn, don't you start.
And it clearly was a show about child stars because Emmanuel Lewis from Webster was there, and I think Soleil Moon Frye from Punky Brewster was there. Not at GoldenCon, on Jenny Jones.
Cause I was finna say you on a damn line, see them.
So she knew what she was there for. But every person that stood up and asked a question about the show, she was rude as hell. She was like, oh, I don't have any fond memories. It was just a job, and I'm not going to talk about it. Like, why are you on the show then if you don't want to talk about it? So it was nothing like that. They were very open to talking about anything and everything with the show, and they were just walking around like they were normal people, which they are. But, you know, people from TV you think of separately. And somebody else said the same thing I said. Like, I just saw Gil Kessler just going to the bathroom, like walking in the bathroom. Like, I know he's just walking around like we are. It's so weird because I've never been at a convention. I would assume that the celebrities just stay at their, you know, table or whatever, or they get ushered off somewhere, that they're not mingling like they were. Right. Because I'm sure, as I, you know, talked to a few of them about, they never, you know, with the exception of Dinah Manoff, they were one-offs or maybe, you know, two-offs. I think Lynn Green had the most appearances, and that would be 4, I believe, as young Dorothy. So I'm sure they never thought, oh, this will be the one thing that people will remember me for. Like, Bonnie Bartlett has 2 Emmys. You know, so for her to be mostly remembered for this one role is crazy. But I think they really, you know, just love it because a lot of, you know, actors don't like that. You know, like Jaleel White doesn't like being, you know, talking about Urkel all the time. But they were sucking it up, as would I. Did
we talk about Gil Kessler?
I just mentioned him that we saw him walking by to the bathroom. Did you miss
COVID
that?
brain.
Damn.
Yep, did. Sorry.
It's almost as bad as our 420 episode, which is our highest rated after the premiere. So clearly, y'all like us to sound insane.
But
Shit.
he was very fast. It took me, I think, like the second day before I was able to get him. Because every time I would see him, I'd be like, oh, there's Gil Kessler. I'd turn around and he'd be gone. And I'm like, where the hell did he go? And I think the same for Dinah Manoff. I saw her a couple times and couldn't get to her, but eventually we were in the same place. But they were on the go. They had things to do, people to see. I don't blame them. And so many vendors. I didn't think there would be that many. I spent too much money on shit I don't need. One of those
Too. And
vendors.
first of all, I only bought 2 things, and I was really pissed off because I bought a T-shirt and a pen, like a clothes pen that you put on your clothes.
Clothespin.
And I was like, okay, how much do I owe you? He was like $49 for what? A T-shirt and a pen? I thought this pen was $10.
I mean, I know you're
I
new
was
to
so
the
pressed.
to the collectibles game, but a lot of stuff is very expensive. That's why I try to be discerning because I can't buy everything. But I also always ask, how much is this before I proceed?
I didn't ask. I just didn't anticipate me spending $50 on 2 things, and the pen was supposed to be $10.
I would have said never mind, but because I like to get bigger stuff, so I at least feel like it's seen a little more in my collection. Which I'm sick because everything I bought is still in my bags. Because typically, if I buy anything Golden Girls, I literally come right home and find a spot for it in my shrine. But I have not touched anything. And we had multiple bags, like we were going out of town, even though we live here. But that's besides the point. But yeah, it was like I'm not one to get emotional, as you know. Like I don't think I have cried since my grandmother's funeral, but I got a little teary-eyed at the little finale video, and I was shocked. I was so verklempt, but it was really just an amazing experience. And again, I'm not, very sappy, but I was just so happy to be included because, this is something I've loved. So to not only be there, but to be a part of it, and it's the first one, like, I will never forget this unless, I lose my mind or something. But, it's something I will, I feel like Dorothy, these memories I will cherish when the world seems cold and dark. You're angels, all of you. But
Right.
God, my last words. I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe that I was there. Like, we walked out on the stage in the parade of stars, and it was just really an amazing experience. And I'm not one that's really into camaraderie and togetherness and being a part of a group. Like, I'm not in a fraternity. I don't, wasn't on a lot of sports teams or anything. So I've never been into that type of collective, I guess. But it was nice to be somewhere where everyone loved what I loved. Like, now I kind of get why people are so into sports. I get it. If it's like this, then hell yeah, go team. Because I always have felt weird for liking the Golden Girls. I mean, I owned it, but I felt weird. But I was the least weird, believe me. There was a lot of characters. So to know that I'm, not alone and that there are other people, I felt validated. I felt seen. Especially because there was a lot of black people there. Not on the first one.
Right.
But
Oh, wait a minute. There was a lot.
well, I mean, you didn't see everything I saw.
What the hell you see that I ain't see?
I mean, it was a lot more than I thought, but, when you were on hiatus...
It wasn't no lot of black people.
I saw a lot more black people when you were not there.
What do you call a lot?
I would say I saw maybe around 50 out of thousands.
Oh, hell no, but okay.
That's a lot. Shit, a lot more than I thought.
No, I saw probably, maybe that is the accurate number. I was going to say like 25.
But yeah, most of them I met when I was doing solo work. Shout out to anybody that has my business card, because I was handing out them motherfuckers left
Man,
and
you was
right.
harassing the fuck out of those
People were looking
Take
at
a
me
business
like,
card. Take a business
who are
card.
you? Especially since people didn't know who we were. So I'm like, no, we're going to be hosting something. They're like, yeah, okay, sure. And even when we did
Right, as they dusted us down.
yeah, a lot of people were not here for it. Like, some people were walking out. I was like, oh, I went to close the door. But for those that were there, we do appreciate you. And I get it. If some random person was like, hey, I'm hosting this, I'd be like, okay. But it was nice to be able to talk about it. I wish we had more time, to talk about so many things. And people seemed like they had a lot on their chest that they wanted to get out. Because I was harassing people just to come in. I was like, hey, come on in, going and grabbing people.
But it was just, I don't know how to explain it. It was just really something else. It was a dream come true. This is going to be in my obituary for sure. And I will always cherish the experience. And hopefully there will be more and we'll get to participate. People keep asking, is there going to be another one? It has not been decided because I don't think, they didn't think it would be this big, but I feel like they have to have another one. If they don't plan it, I'll plan it.
I thought they said they was gonna do one next
They
year.
want to, but nothing's for sure. And Lynn Green says it should be in St. Olaf, Minnesota. So just saying, it is a real place. And young Dorothy, originally we were talking about it. She was like, oh, maybe they can do it in Miami. I'm like, yeah, this is the don't say gay state. So this is the last place we need to be. This is a very gay show. But I had stopped using Facebook, but I got back on there for the Golden Girls. So you can find me as Freddie Peterson. And I've been adding a lot of people. Luckily, I've been finding most of the people that I met at GoldenCon. We just all found each other. I didn't have to put up an ad in the grocery store. But
because you can't part with Mr. Peepers.
I cannot. Full disclosure, I do get hesitant about adding random people, especially Caucasian people, on Facebook, because people, will be great in person and blah, blah, blah. And this includes people I know. And then you'll add them and you have to be, on edge about what you might see. Like, am I going to see a Blue Lives Matter or, MAGA? You just have to be on alert. And as people who are not Black, I'm sure this is something you don't think about, but you never know. Like, and this is the same in person, like if I'm going to be around a bunch of white people, will somebody make an off-cuff, remark? And then I'm going to feel uncomfortable. The same thing for being gay, being around a bunch of straight people. So I just was on high alert. However, that has not been the case. The only person that I actually saw that this pertained to was one of the Black people that I met. I did not add her because I looked at her page and it had Make America Great Again all over it and her talking about Trump. So I was like, well, I'll be damned. The Black guy's prejudiced. But I have not had that experience, so hopefully I won't. Because shockingly, there are a lot of conservatives that like the Golden Girls, which is odd because it's not that type of show. And for me, I just feel like if I'm going to be around someone in person or online, I need to know that you see me as, an equal human being. And if you follow Trump, I feel like you don't, because he's racist and homophobic and misogynist and things like that. So that's my reasoning behind it. For those of you that may be Trump supporters, that's perfectly fine, but I can't be around that. I don't know how we got here, but
All right, this is who we are.
Right. But with Golden Table Talk, we did talk about these issues, and I'm glad that we were able to have that conversation because it can be awkward to talk about race and things like that. And we had those conversations. So check out the Instagram if you want to deep dive into that, and maybe we'll have April on the show to rehash some of it.
Yeah, we should have April. April was fun. I liked her.
And she had costumes every day. I had costumes that I did not wear. I've been hyping it up. Oh, we'll talk about it off stage, only for me to not wear them, because when I found out how much we were going to be doing, I was like, damn, I want to be dressed as myself so I can get maximum features. But I did post some pictures of me, and I did wear my Grab That Dose smock for a little bit on one of the days. So maybe I'll come as Dorothy next year, at least one day, once people already know who I am. But I got a lot of good souvenirs. I got some free shirts and tote bags. I took one of the giant signs from the bar. I asked, could I take it? Probably would have taken it anyway, but I thought I should at least ask.
Stealing.
They don't need it. They don't need that. They're just going to throw it away. If I hadn't walked an hour to the train, I would have taken something larger. But I didn't have my car.
Hey, excuse me. You know what? We'll discuss that offline. Don't you do that.
Suffering from COVID. Almost cut off one of my fingers in the door.
Don't do that.
But anyway, I was trying to remember which finger it was. Oh, it was this one. The thumb. How am I going to hitchhike and rate movies?
Oh, my God.
Anyway, I just can't say enough about how much fun it was. It wasn't just fun. It was just, like Kay said, it was like a family reunion. Like everybody was cool. Everybody was just happy to be there. Everybody, oh, can I take a picture? Sure. Can I take a video? Sure. the mother of a solid gold dancer, which is probably where we got COVID.
Okay.
I
Why are
do,
you talking about? You were sitting down the whole time. Do you see how many people in here with no mask on?
I mean, no one had on one really at that point.
You
And
didn't give a damn.
we were. I think that was where we were in more of a cluster than anywhere. So that's probably where it happened. But hopefully Bonnie Bartlett is okay. I reached out to Zach like, hey, can you check on her? I'm like, oh God, I hope this doesn't like wipe out any of the elderly cast members. But I have not heard anything, so I think they're okay. But thank God for the vaccine and the booster, because if I felt like this without it, I'd be buried with Mr. Pincus.
Okay.
But it's amazing. I could feel so bad and still look so good.
So good.
So good we named it. Now streaming. And for those of you that have said that they don't know how to find the podcast, I guess you won't be able to hear this because you can't find it. But our website is up and running, sogoodwenamedit.com. And there's links on there. There's links everywhere. So it's very easy. And again, I don't know much about podcasts, but when I looked, it said that we were on several different sites. I'm like, how? How do we get home? I didn't put it there. So maybe one of them, because several people have said, oh, I don't use this. I use that. You don't have to have an account. Just click on it. It'll play.
Click it. As you hack up your left lung.
I know. I'm afraid that'll happen. My lung collapsed before because I coughed a hole in it. And
Oh my God.
I didn't know.
When?
You didn't know that?
When was this?
I believe.
Was this COVID related?
No. This
Damn.
was, I think it was.
Did you have pneumonia or something?
I did, and I didn't know I had it. So maybe it was walking
You
pneumonia.
had walking pneumonia?
Yeah. It was October 16th, 2006. So maybe that's why you didn't know.
No, yeah, I would know that.
But yeah, I was in a job interview for Dunkin' Donuts Baskin Robbins, and I got hired, but because I was in the hospital, they never let me start.
Damn.
Yeah, America does not run on Dunkin' if your lung collapses. But that's
I saw
neither
in the
here nor
documentary that they get the cheapest coffee beans. That's why you typically have to use the bathroom after having Dunkin' Donuts.
there. Oh.
Because they get the bottom of the barrel. Like, you know how it's premium alcohol? There's premium coffee beans. And just like there's, cheap alcohol, there's cheap coffee beans. So Dunkin' Donuts gets the cheap coffee beans.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they won't be sponsoring us anymore.
Oh, damn.
But what else did I want
Sorry.
to talk about? There's so much. It's hard
They weren't
to...
sponsoring us now. Hell.
Well, we said during Golden Table Talk, because one of you, I think it was you, was drinking the coffee.
I was, and I had to go poop.
Nature calls. At least you have to wait 10 days.
Wow.
What else did I want to talk about with Goldencon? I feel like I had a whole list. I do want to say some of the stuff that we talked about that you may have missed with Bonnie Bartlett, a.k.a. Barbara Thorndike. I asked her what would Barbara Thorndike be doing today, and I said that I felt like she'd be Secretary of Education under Trump. But she said she'd probably still be teaching. And she said, when I asked her, does she think that Barbara Thorndike got a bad rap? Or if she truly is the ultimate Golden Girls villain? She says yes. I said no. I was like, nah, it's Frida Claxton. But she says no, it's Barbara because she's one of the worst kinds of people.
She's really nice, though. Not Barbara Thorndike, but the actual person who plays her.
She is.
Bonnie Bartlett. She is such a sweetheart. Like, if she could be my grandma, I would absolutely have her be my granny. Like, she's amazing. She's beautiful. You're beautiful. You're all beautiful.
And
I love
she's
her.
into the whole, like, Barbara Thorndike shtick. I thought she might be like, all right, get it. I get
No,
it.
she was into it. She had a Go to Hell t-shirt on.
Right. And I had the audience tell her to go to hell 2 times. But she also had said that B. Arthur's sons were adopted, which I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I teased this on Twitter, but I don't know how true this is, but she said that B. Arthur, because back then adoptions were done so differently, that she was so afraid that, they would take her sons away or whatever, that when they asked about their birth mother, she told them that she was dead.
Yeah,
but
she
back
just
then,
couldn't,
you didn't, they didn't really have open adoptions. Like, they didn't let you know anything. So it was not like she, knew the woman. Like, you didn't know anything about the mother. You couldn't really find anything out. So I guess she was like, that's the best answer to keep them from trying to, find out more. But again, I don't know if that was just a little anecdote or what. But what else did I want to spill? Lynn Green said that B. Arthur asked her out for drinks once, and she didn't go because she was kind of nervous, and she still regrets that. So that's part of why I bum rushed everybody, because I was like, I don't want to regret this. Let me get my features while I can. And Amelia, Rue's niece, I was talking to her about if she wanted to do the podcast, and her mother, Rue's sister, who was so sweet, and she was like, "Don't you want a picture with me?" I was like, "Of course." I just didn't want to, harass her, but I showed her a picture when I met Rue 15 years ago, and she really loved that. And actually, almost to the day, like I think it was like maybe 2 weeks from the date of 15 years from when I met Rue. But I was telling her and giving her my business card. Her mother was like, "Give him your number," which
Don't you do that on air.
look, they got to see the reality of COVID.
That is not okay. Don't you do that no more.
You're talking about poops.
I said, okay, that's a part of life, but don't
So
be
is
acting
that.
like you don't got to do that. Don't be being dramatic.
Look, I know plenty of women that have had strokes, but they were still ladies. But she was trying to get her to give me her number. And I totally get not wanting to give some rando your number, especially as a celebrity. And I was like, no, it's fine. She's like, no, give him your number. Give him your number. And she was like, I have his card. That's fine.
Okay, I have his card. Politely declined.
But it was a very cute dynamic that they had. They had a lot of funny back and forth together. And we were, backstage a lot, waiting to go out on stage for different things or whatever. So I was just soaking it all up. Who else? Diane Manoff, I asked her, does she agree that Empty Nest should be on Hulu? She says, yes, Hulu, hello. And I proposed that they need to do an HGTV style makeover show. Home renovation. What did I say? A golden renovation, Richmond Street, and they can buy the Golden Girls house and the Empty Nest house, and maybe Dinah can host. Just saying. Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. And Stan Zimmerman's already trying to steal my idea for the Coco show, where Coco gets a proper send-off after he wins big at the track. What else? Oh, Mark Sulkin, I asked him about the inconsistencies in the show, and he said it was because he didn't give a shit. He said he never watched the show before he worked there, and he would just make stuff up, and nobody would make a big enough fuss for him to change it, so he wouldn't. So that's why there's no consistency.
And with the names, why the characters have so many similar names with like totally different characters is because they had to get clearance or whatever to use certain names to make sure that they weren't real people in real life. And so they just decided that we have this list of names. Let's just rotate them because, as he said, he didn't give a shit. So
exactly. If there was a woman that asked a question, it was going to be on the show, actually. I reached out to her, and she was asking about why the calendar never changed, because on the back of the door in the kitchen, and he was like, you need to get some help if that's been bothering you. She said he did come up to her later and apologize, but I just thought that was really funny.
her feelings was a little hurt because we was just like, oh, damn.
Right. Because I get it. That's how I am, too. Like I obsess over the little stuff on the show.
First of all, I couldn't even see that shit. So how did she zoom in to see the dates and times?
Because we're mega fans. But that to be his response, I was like, damn. I'm trying to think. A lot of people didn't ask questions. I don't know if they were just nervous, but I was like, y'all better do this while you can, because you may never get this opportunity again.
They didn't ask very many questions to him, but they was asking questions to the other people that we had.
Maybe they were scared of him.
Maybe because he didn't give a shit.
Because I asked everything I wanted to ask, and he was like, well, people don't really care about Golden Palace. I like Golden Palace. People keep giving it a bad rap. I like it. But he did address something we had mentioned on the show of how the hell Roland, a black guy, ended up with this little white boy as a foster child. He addressed that made no sense. And I also mentioned the fact that Oliver had a Newsies New York accent, and he agreed that also made no sense. So I'm glad we're on the same page. You should have hired me as a consultant. I was 5, but I could have done something.
As an image consultant?
Yes. Don't believe in labels.
All right.
Speaking of which, Lynn Green's wife was super sweet. Meg, loved her. I was not aware that they were Lebanese. I never assume anything. You never know. You never assume.
But I had an inkling.
But I would love to, have them on to talk about women's issues sometime. So definitely come on the show whenever you would like. I was hoping that Lynn would offer to give me her Golden Girls Letterman's jacket, but it did not happen. I'm still open to taking it, FYI. Just saying. I don't believe they have any kids. So, when you're doing your estate planning, just remember me. the jacket.
Boy,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not asking for much. But
just her commemorative jacket.
I mean, as a fan. But I
Okay.
will say, that even though they were all great, she was my favorite. Don't tell anybody. She was just so cool and nice, and she did that little promo with us where I looked like I was being held hostage by terrorists. I don't know why I looked so terrified in that video. I think I was just excited. And I was telling her, it would be an honor if she could be on the show. She's like, oh, it'd be my honor. I'm like, oh, stop it. But she's the best, and someone should have given her an Emmy for that portrayal. Do they do like retroactive Emmys? Do they go back and say, you know
Hell
what,
no.
this should have gotten a nomination?
Hell no.
Well, if I ever get in charge of anything at the Emmys, which will likely not happen, but maybe I'll just tweet somebody and harass them. I will make sure Lynn Green gets her Emmy.
Okay.
Also, H. Allen was working the hell out of those fucking outfits as Sadie Pines. I was like,
Okay,
you better
period.
fucking get it, Sadie. I know his feet was
Yes,
hurting with
period.
them 6-inch heels,
Okay,
but I was
platform.
getting
I was
all
like,
my
all
life.
right.
And I kept forgetting they were the same person. I'd be like, where's H. Allen? I haven't seen him. And I'm like, oh,
But
duh.
it's like, but when they're in character with Sadie Pines, like I can't. It's like a whole character. And I'm just
I
like,
cannot
oh my God.
really see them as the same person. Like, I really
No.
cannot. And that speaks to the talent of drag.
Yes,
Because that's
H.
the
Allen,
idea.
When we saw him at the party when he wasn't in costume, I was like, Barrett, please stop coughing like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. The COVID, I can't really help it too much.
When I seen him at the party, I was like, oh, that's H. Allen. He's so different when he's not. And then we did the show, the podcast with him. And then when I saw his character, him in character, I was like, oh my God, it's like two totally different people. I love it.
It really is. And on a side note, his podcast partner on Out on the Lanai, who you all may know as Carrie, aka Squidzy, is married to one of the JTP from the Goldbergs, which I'm sure you don't watch. But it was so random because my friend Andrew, who also sounds just like Becky, I'm going to get her to do a clip of saying, Jeremy, be serious.
Jeremy.
We talk about like a couple of shows that we like all the time, and Goldbergs is one of them. So it's just kind of, full circle that I end up, meeting somebody who knows someone who's married to someone who's on the show. If you ever want to come on, I'm sorry, your real name escapes me. I just know you from
COVID.
JTP. Yeah, COVID. But, oh Lord, here you go. Don't
I'm
you start
fine.
that coughing shit. Just like you said you were fine when I told you I had COVID, and I was like, you should get tested. You're like, I'm not claiming that. I feel great. Tony the Tiger over there. Yeah.
Look, and I was like, watch me wake up tomorrow and be fucked up. And guess what happened? Woke up tomorrow and it was fucked up.
Damn. On a very special COVID edition, what else was I gonna mention? Oh, and a couple of people that I met, that were fans of the show. Don't throw up on the rug. No, go on the hardwood. No, go on the hardwood. Yes. Damn it.
Damn.
No,
He got COVID too?
Yeah, go on
Who
the
is
hardwood. It's Bernice. She's always throwing up because she eats
Her
too
sick
fucking
ass.
fast.
She always throwing up.
Damn it. Do you have an eating disorder? Do we need to talk? Damn, she's throwing up again? I'm
On today's
surprised
very
she's
special
not
episode,
skinnier.
if you have an
God damn
eating
it.
disorder, please reach out to what's the
who?
number for eating disorders?
I don't know. Why would I know
Damn.
that?
I'm just saying. We knew we had the suicide prevention hotline number.
Well, you had that ready to go. At
'Cause
least
we was
cats will
talking
give
about
you a
suicide.
warning. I do
What
appreciate
happened?
that much. They give you a warning when they're going to throw up. No, get off of that rug too. No! Damn it. Ugh. I know you're not a cat.
Is everything
person,
okay? Is
No.
everything okay?
But the way cats will... people who have cats who are listening, when your cat's going to throw up. So at least they give you a heads up.
That's disgusting. Was it fur balls or was it what the hell?
I don't know what the fuck her problem is. Yeah, I wanted to say with the Golden Gaze, it was the same thing where all I saw was, like Dorothy, for instance. Like even when I saw pictures of Jason later on, I couldn't put them as the same person. I was like, nope,
Right.
This is Jason, this is Dorothy. Hopefully we can have them back on. And he actually said he listens to the show. I was like, oh my God, Dorothy listens to my show. So good.
Yeah,
we named
he
it.
did. He mentioned a couple things that we said on the show that only you would know if you were
Right.
actually listening.
And now I got to go play that clip of him
So good we named it.
I wanted to like put that at the beginning of all of our episodes, but I don't want to get sued. So.
No, he recorded it for us. Just ask his permission.
Intellectual
obviously,
property.
Because he recorded it. No, it's not. We should ask him.
We named it.
One for the road.
So good, we named it.
Love it. Shout out to him.
Did I discuss
They
everything?
were all very nice
They
too,
were,
though.
they
The
were.
Golden Gays were very
And
nice as well.
I just love how gigantic Blanche's hair is. It's very much
I loved it.
Sylvia
What's the
Fine.
wig people? Shout out to the wig people who do her wig.
Yeah,
I listened to it the other day and I forgot.
Mrs. Kasha Brown, is that who it is? Let me look it up.
I
Because
can't
I know it was
tell
someone
you.
from Drag Race. No, Mrs. Kasha Davis. Mrs. Kasha Davis.
Yeah.
Not Kasha Brown.
Yep.
I don't know where that came from. But I feel like the hair should just get bigger and bigger because it wasn't that big. So I feel like as they progress, the hair should just become this gigantic entity to where someone has to help them carry it around. But let me get into the Q&As because I feel like this is a 2-hour ramble. And I'm going to stop apologizing for our rambles because this is what you all must like. Because, this is who we are.
Okay. Are we going to break this down into 2 episodes or are we going to keep it going?
Sounds like a lot. Okay. So let me go look at the Q&As real quick of what people ask. R2 Fanji says, I just really hope that if they ever held a GoldenCon next year to also make an online session for people who want to also experience the whole event. I was and still so jealous with all the photos, reviews, videos of GoldenCon. I'm based in Asia.
Oh.
That would be a great idea. They should, charge for that, of course. A live stream of GoldenCon. But don't be jealous. It was just the most exciting thing ever that'll never happen again in the same
As you
way.
rub it in.
But, let's
Oh my
see.
God, I feel terrible. Sorry,
That's
continue on.
Chrissy says, hey, my mom and I adore the Golden Girls. Do you know what happened to the part in the intro where Blanche pulls her shirt over her arm? We know it's from the robbery show. Thanks. Not really related to GoldenCon, but
it's two intros for the show, isn't it? It's like an extended introduction and then like the regular one.
There's actually 3.
Is it 3?
And then they change Blanche Rue and Estelle's little intro part. I know Rue's changes 3 times. I think Estelle's changes twice.
I mean like it's 2 separate intros.
Right.
Because one is the regular version and then the other is like the extended version. And it's going to be the extended version when the sunset and the airplane comes on.
Right, but there is actually there's multiple. So there's the regular one from the first season, then the regular one they use throughout, and then the extended version, which I guess is probably seen in not everyone. Because I know it's in like the 2-parters a lot and stuff. Get away from that. Get away from that. Now one cat's going over to the other cat's vomit. But Lifetime had the syndicated version, and then there's a shorter version of the long version where they don't do and if you threw a party twice, they do it once. But anyway, I digress. That's from a deleted scene. I have no further information on that, unfortunately.
Okay.
Let's see. Chuck Noblet asks, is there going to be another GoldenCon? Again, I don't know, unfortunately.
Hopefully, I think they said it was.
I'm glad that people think that we're so in the know, but unfortunately, we're not. Not at this time. Let me see if there are any other questions. No, I guess not. Thought that'd be a longer part, but I guess people don't have anything on that to ask. Maybe because I just talked about everything so thoroughly that you don't need to ask anything. But if you have any later, you can still ask and we'll address it in a future episode. But yeah, what am I going to talk about in the outro now? I guess I'll just tell people to follow us.
Follow us on all social media. We're on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram.
And by we, she means me. But
oh, wow. Yeah. All right.
But I speak in plurals. I always say we and our, but I'm the one that's doing the talking.
We know that.
I'm just letting them know in case they are saying something directly.
They already know. They see how you steamroll me all the whole time at the GoldenCon. They know
what you
got going on.
I couldn't help myself.
I know you can't never help yourself, but it's all right.
Ooh, she tried it. Y'all see how she tried
it? COVID.
Hold my purse, sister. Them's is fighting word. But yeah, GoldenCon was great. And if anyone, had questions about like, the pricing, because originally I was like, oh, I don't want to spend this much because I don't know what this is going to be like. Having seen everything, I would have paid that. I would have paid all of it. So it's definitely worth it. And if it was this great this year, I can't imagine what it'll be like next year if they have one. So start saving your pennies now.
They were talking about the cruise too. Y'all might want to go on the Golden Girls cruise. If y'all don't want to, as Barrett coughs his lungs up, maybe not because COVID, but that's
my only concern, getting trapped at sea. Because I don't know if I can afford that, but maybe I'll just bunk with Stan Zimmerman or something. I don't know, but
you hear that, Stan?
I mean, if it comes to that, but I don't know. I want to go because everybody kept telling me you have to go, you have to go, you have to go. So I feel like I have to.
It's like $4,000.
I think the cheapest package was $2,000. The most expensive is $14,000.
Oh, hell no.
So if anyone would like to sponsor me, again, Stan.
Us.
Oh, yes, us.
Wow.
But, yeah, it was great. I have more pictures to post and stuff, like Jim Colucci signed my book. I want to post that because I was talking about the book, Matt Browning's Sound Mind. He didn't sign it. You've inspired me more than you'll ever know, unfortunately. And it was just so great. Hopefully Aaron comes on the show as well. It was great, seeing them perform live. My phone was dying as I was waiting because I knew Aaron was going to be there, of course, but the audience didn't know, so I was trying to record his part. I was not aware that Cindy was going to be singing several of her songs, so my phone was on like 2%. I'm like, oh, God, I want to hear you sing, Cindy. I'm here for Cindy's greatest hits, but please hurry up before my phone dies so I can get this. But luckily,
it was beautiful. She had beautiful songs, beautiful gowns.
I didn't know that she had so many. I mean, I knew that she had songs other than this, but I didn't know she had such a range of variety of songs because there was a sad song, there was an upbeat song.
She's a good singer too.
She is like beyond the Golden Girls. She is still an artist in her own right. So bless you. So check her out. She should be on the show soon, hopefully. And I think she and Aaron need to do a single together. Just saying. I will say he's shy. He was not expecting all of that attention. Because he was telling me, he's like, yeah, they were like, oh, do you want us to send some more people over? And he's like, oh, no, I don't know. I'm shy too, believe it or not. And I was talking to Delaney Green about this because she's like, well, I'm also shy, and so is B. I think people think when you're on a lot that, oh, you can't be shy. But no, I'm turning it on. This is a facade in a way. I mean, it's part of who I am, but it's not who I am all the time. And I have to like work up to that and like prepare myself for that.
I'm not shy, but like, I'm not friendly.
Me neither. So it was very difficult for me to be like, hey, come watch the show. Oh, blah, 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 because I'm not used to talking to people that much, especially with COVID, and we work from home. So it took a little bit for me to get used to, but I loved it. I loved meeting people, and I'm glad I was able to get out of my shell a little bit. Now I can go back into it.
Same.
But
I'm an introverted extrovert.
Yeah, or
really,
ambivert,
to be
if
honest.
you will. Because people know Aaron way more than they know us, and he was being so so shy, as where nobody knows us, and we were walking around like it was so good we named it Con.
Okay, that's what we did. That's what it was in our mind.
Because people would be like, oh, you can't go in there. I'm like, oh, I'm talent. Flash my little badge and keep walking.
Okay, period. Because that lady tried to stop us. Ma'am, please leave us.
Several people tried to stop us. I'm like, do you know who I am? But
do you know who we are?
I've always, felt like I was famous, even when I wasn't. So, I'm just like, finally, other people see what I have been seeing. And for those of you that don't know, I did used to be a YouTube celebrity. I have shuttered my channel. I took down almost all of my videos because I was like, well, if GoldenCon blows up, I don't need people digging up my old videos trying to cancel me. But I do still have the page.
Because they would have definitely canceled you in that mayhem.
Yeah, so because one person did, he was like, hey, weren't you in this Facebook group? I was like, oh God, what happened?
No, that wasn't me. That was my twin brother.
Right, that was Rufus.
Okay.
But I do want to rebrand it and start putting some more Golden Girls stuff on there. So subscribe to So Clutch Network. Ain't nothing really on there right now except for a few podcasts of this, but If anybody wants to, contribute anything to the website, like if you have a skit that you did or something, you want to send a video, a song you wrote about the show, a blog, I'll post it all because this is for the people, Feel free to chip in on that Wix membership, though. Or Wix could sponsor the show. So good we named it. Brought to you by Wix as we get sued.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's everything. We've been talking for like 2 hours. So it's not the immense detail in retrospect of everything that I wanted because I'm sick, but I wanted to get something out there. And I found almost everybody that I met in person, but there is a couple that I met and I saw them multiple times. We talked after the trivia contest. Maybe Tyson. I think I asked Tyson, and he said that she didn't have social media. And some guy did follow me that looked like her husband, but I didn't want to assume it was him and then be loud and wrong. But if it's you, let me know. We'd love to have you on. But we were talking after the finale because I was like one of the last people to leave. And she was telling me some good inside stuff she heard, which we'll talk about off stage. And then I ran into them again on my hour-long walk to the train.
Don't you start that shit.
And then I actually, even though I felt like I was getting sick, I wanted to bring the Golden Gaze some stuff because I sell, vintage jewelry and accessories and stuff. And I was like, ooh, this would be cute. Maybe they would like this. So I went back to the hotel at 1:30 and dropped it at the front desk. And I ran into them again in the lobby. I was like, wow, we just meant to run into each other. But they were very cool. But I think they're the only ones I haven't found. So if you're out there, come and get me. But I found pretty much everybody else. It was very easy to find for some reason. I feel like everybody in my People You May Know is sitting on the Golden Girls couch.
Right.
But anyway, I think that's everything. Oh, one more thing. The costumes, amazing. So many great costumes.
Yeah. People were very much in character. Very nice.
We'll get into in the winners episode, but y'all showed up and showed out. Y'all did a great job. But yeah. Thank you everyone that supported us and that came up to us and
thank you.
And have reached out afterwards. We've gotten so many followers and everything afterwards. I really appreciate it. It's nice to be doing something somebody actually cares about for once, besides me. So keep listening. Let us know, what you want to hear. We're gonna get back to actual reviewing of episodes eventually, but we got a lot on our plate. We have a very full calendar of interviews coming up. Shout out to Zach.
Who?
Zach from Goldencon?
Oh, Zach. Yep.
COVID brain. Maybe he'll come on the show. I told him I want to have all of them over as a thanks. I'll cook dinner. Maybe we'll have short ribs and shrimp.
I like that.
So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoyed that little somewhat of a recap.
Yeah, it was a very good recap, I think. And as I always say, as I steamroll you.
Wow.
Thank you for being a friend.
Is this what it feels like?
Yep.
Damn. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to follow us at So Good We Named It on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And check out SoGoodWeNamedIt.com. And if you'd like to tell your story about GoldenCon, or have your photo included in our upcoming video montage or on our website, send us an audio clip in MP3 format no longer than 10 minutes, or your photos to SoGoodWeNamedIt@gmail.com. And we'll see you next year at GoldenCon 2023. Hopefully. And as always, thank you for being a friend. Let me get back on the show real quick. Can y'all let Kay know? Tweet her at Kay's Keys Shy, I think, something like that. Because she doesn't believe that THC helps with COVID. Google it. I've been getting high every day only to help my COVID. Because, I don't be getting high like that. But it's been helping.
Is we back on the air?
Yes.
Hang up. Because I'm not doing this with you. Why every time I do something, you got to go back on the air and tell everybody. Because like when I didn't have no milk for my cereal and I had put water on it.
Must we revisit that disgusting moment?
It wasn't disgusting. It was electrolyte alkaline water.
You don't have to live like this, Kay.
All right. You know what?
Thank you for being a friend.